can do that. Yeah, my name is Cody Leach. I think I've seen most of you guys at several meetups before this. I am a certified public accountant in the state of North Carolina. I think you guys know them as chartered accountants. North Carolina requires me to tell you that I was chartered in North Carolina. Otherwise, I can lose my license. I do fractional CFO work and financial function consulting. So right now I'm actually working with our Fair City Council, helping them with their finance processes. The excellent ones that are getting better. So this is kind of a rough agenda. So I guess the first thing that I should mention for this is I am not a programmer. I am an accountant who got frustrated when I worked in public accounting about how they would say, we automate, we automate, we automate. But what I found is instead we outsourced to India and then worked lots of hours, which was unfortunate. And so when I finally quit working for one of the big accounting firms, I decided to try to learn Python because the people that were probably the most important people in the companies I worked for were the people in the systems team. So what I found is we would do analyses of companies, and we did my favorite analysis, which was key person risk. And so the people that you would think if they got hit by a bus tomorrow would the company would stop functioning. So people like the C-suite, like the CFO, the CEO, but people who were constantly way above their pay grade was the systems admin, because he was the guy that was managing all the database and whatever. So you lose him, you lose your ability to be a public company and report and manage your whole business. So anyways, I looked at those guys I want to understand what the heck they're doing, because when I'm a CFO one day, I need to have a conversation with them. But anyways, so I'm going to go through kind of the problem that I ran into and why I wanted to learn Python, ultimately the goal of what I'm trying to accomplish, and kind of the roadblocks and the solutions. And it's a very simple script. It's actually the first one that I wrote. And I know that we've had lots of presentations up here of people with really complex ones where I'm like, what the heck, did that just happen? This one's for the novices out there, a very easy stepping stone into the Python world that just solved the problem that I was running into. And then I'm going to try to run the script. We'll see how that goes. And then there's also questions, which the experts in here probably know the answers to, and then feedback for anything I can improve, which I guarantee you there's a lot. All right, so the problem. Number one, so before I got to New Zealand, my wife and I were traveling through Southeast Asia for 6 months. And so we decided to put up our house for rent. So we hired a property management company, and they provide statements to us every month, and money gets deposited in the account. We pay the mortgage. All these transactions go on in the background. And I am a real jagaloon, so I got lazy, and I'd be traveling, and I don't want to go on my laptop while I'm trying to scooter through Southeast Asia. So you had two problems. One, we had the house, and then I am kind of a lazy guy. And ultimately the goal was to have functioning financial statements for this thing, because I am a CPA. So I want income statement, I want a cash flow statement. I don't really care as much about a balance sheet, but a retained earnings statement. So before this makes any kind of sense, it's probably worth going through the basic statements. So your income statement's everything everyone knows about. Revenues minus expenses is net income, which you're going to use probably for your taxes. And then cash flow, which is how did my cash begin, how did my cash end, and what happened in between. And then your balance sheet is just a list of all the stuff that you have. And then your retained earnings is going to be basically how much did I put in and how much have I gotten out in any given period. Yeah, I actually tutor this stuff. This is one of my tutoring slides, so you guys got it for free. Okay, so like I said, the biggest problems I ran into were that I was in Southeast Asia. So I have this really crappy laptop from 2007. It's a solid state drive. I can't put anything on it anymore. It actually it doesn't even run without a charger. And so I needed to run a Python script to manage all this stuff, and it had to be in the cloud because it can't store any files. And then I needed to put it on Google Sheets, so I had to figure out how to put this thing into the cloud onto Google Sheets. And then all this stuff comes through on bank statements that come from the banks that we have back home. And they also come from the mortgage company, and then also from the property management company. And so those come in, and I got to read them. And so I picked up a library called PDF Reader. And then probably the biggest thing is this was my first attempt at solving a problem with Python. So I think I took the free course on Code Academy, and I think it took maybe 30 hours to start. And then I realized as soon as I went to go code this that wasn't helpful for solving my problem at all. So what I ended up doing was having to Google pretty much everything. So for all of you aspiring Python programmers, watching YouTube videos is literally like find a problem you need to solve and just Google it is literally the answer to it. And luckily people are very kind that they post YouTube videos of how to do things, and maybe one day I'll be one of those people. I guess if you put this on YouTube, maybe. But yeah, so when I was running into this, I basically had to learn how to do authentication with Google Drive. So that's a process that I could Google in order to put this all into a Google Sheet. And then I also ran into the problem where I needed to read the PDFs. And so I found this library by literally Googling how to read a PDF, and then found someone that was able to show me how to code it. All right, so that's the script in all of its glory. It is short and sweet, and I'm sure it could be improved. I don't know, does this have a laser pointer? Can you guys actually see that? Or should I pull it up to make it bigger and we can go through it line by line like Danny wanted me to do? No, really though, can you see it? Because I can also just pull it up and make it bigger. All right. Perfect. It means you guys can assume it's all right. All right, is that better? So the first thing you can tell is that I actually have it in a really default IDE. So this is like Notepad Plus, I think, where you run it in idle. It's a default. It at least has colors, which I thought was pretty nice. It helps you understand what's going on. But there's like no lines. Anyways, so as you can see, the main things in here are I'm pulling GS Spread, which is a library that lets you interact with Google spreadsheets. And then PyPDF2, which allows you to basically like just pull data from PDF files. I guess turn them into text. I don't even use classes to get to what I need to do. I just use a library. So anyone that needs to solve a problem, you actually don't need to code that much. But effectively, the first thing I do is I authorize to go to Google Sheets. So Google Sheets has an authorization, and there's like a credential file that you have to have, and it just reads that to make sure that it's actually you trying to post. And then the next thing that happens is I find the workbook to get all of the data. So I have it set FY19 income statement, which is just a Google spreadsheet. That looks like that. So all that does is basically tell me what spreadsheet I'm going to go add to. So every year I can just move it to the next one. And then what I end up having to give it is the only piece of data I need to give it is what month am I trying to close. So yeah, 10, like for example, 10 would be October. So period 10, this is the 10th month out of the year. And then what that does is just it calculates, it gives me an input, I give it to it, and then it calculates the close month. And it's +1 because everything in the spreadsheet's scooted over by 1. And then what it does next is it uses PDF to basically read my bank statement. And then that basically will then pull my cash balance and my interest. So every month there's like a small cash balance that gets interest. It's like 75 cents, so $1 in New Zealand dollars. Yeah, so big money there. And then ending cash balance, so how much cash is sitting in the bank account after money comes in for rent and money goes out for mortgage. I'm at least proud because I think putting these little hashtags in there is proper formatting for putting code. Anyway, so it finds the cash balance. So that's the reading of the bank statement. So that's the only two pieces of data that I asked for my bank statement. And then I go to my mortgage statement, which pulls the interest for the mortgage, and then also pulls the mortgage balance. The mortgage interest helps me actually fill out my income statement for all my expenses, and then the mortgage balance is so I can do an equity calculation at the end. And then that's all the data that it actually pulls. That's the end of it. So then the next thing it does is literally just goes through the Google Doc and updates the row associated with it, plus the column that I chose from putting in my data for what month I'm trying to close, and it just does that for all of those items. And trying to get to that point was painful to say the least. All right, so now we're going to attempt to actually run the thing and see if it works. So what it's going to actually end up doing is I have to pull down the bank statements manually. And so I try to figure, if anyone here has an idea of how to do that, American bank entities are very sensitive about trying to automatically log into an account and pull out data. So if anyone has a workaround, that'd be helpful, because that takes like 5 minutes or so. Anyway, so I'm trying to close, it'll be October. So I'm going to give it 10. And then it'll take a second. And then I guess when those 3 little things show up, that usually means that it's done. But what will end up happening is you'll see everything that I had highlighted in green will fill in. So at this point, it goes through and has updated everything in green. So the interest, so this month was a big ol' 75 cents. The mortgage interest, which changes depending on how much we decide to put towards it every month, and then ultimately recalculates it. So it's just easier to pull it from the bank statement. And then probably my favorite part is that's the income statement. So I'll have this all ready for when taxes come around, which is easier if you already have the information. And then probably the best part is it does cash flow. So it basically calculates all of the cash items there, and then takes the beginning balance from the previous month, adds the cash that has changed, and then I have it actually pulling from the bank statement so I can do my cash reconciliation. So if that's off, then it means I need to go actually look at something else. So there can be other expenses if like the renters break my washing machine like they did last month. Being a landlord is not nearly as cool as I thought it was going to be. It's actually quite stressful. We had our neighbor wanted to cut down a tree, and it was going to cost $7,000 to cut down a tree. And so I had to convince him not to do that because I didn't have it and he didn't have it. Anyways, so then the last thing it does is it fills out the current mortgage balance, which is slowly amortizing over the life of the mortgage. And so then I just have it calculating what my return on equity is based on the beginning balance with how much I've made. And right now it's projected out, knowing that there's 2 months left in the year where something could go wrong, and probably will. But yeah. So it's something that was taking me about an hour and a half while traveling, where I wasn't able to really find a plug most of the time, to something that takes, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so between downloading the bank statements and then running the actual script, which is quite cool. All right, that's pretty much it. I told you it was really short and simple, but I'm hoping it's a little bit of an inspiration for anyone that wants to get up here and present, because I know some of the stuff that gets up here is pretty nerve-wracking and I don't understand what's going on. The other thing too is feedback too. So like, my understanding is there's something that you can do to like run it within that by itself without having to pull up idle and then run it manually, but maybe I'll get to that.